master's students in barrier. Today, I'm going to present my paper, and the topic is enhancing user trust and engagement in AI data collection system that has been addressing privacy, transparency, ethical consideration, usability, and reliability. Dr. Dagar, we can't see slides.
Slides gone?
Yes.
You can continue. Okay, please, you can go ahead and just trying to see.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, because
So,
people are there,
let me-
so we don't break anything. We were waiting actually. So you can
Okay,
continue.
sure. No issue. No
Yeah.
issue. Okay,
Yeah.
let me tell you about the background of my study. As
Yeah.
domain is marketing, so AI is dominating the marketing field. So modern digital environment has made AI data collection system irreplaceable. Dr. Saab, yes, exactly the slide, background slide. The process of obtaining, distilling, and taking applying data has turned onto its head, and these systems then sophisticated machine learning algorithms to automatically collect data from multiple sources, including the user interactions, sensors, social media. As we all use social media every day, I believe that we are almost active whole day any one of the social media, like it can be the Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat as well. So the huge data over there are broken down into the pieces, and then the system analyze this data and help business run better, inspire innovations, and make the customer happier. Along with this, these AI data collection systems are the very core of every field. It can be a healthcare field, finance, marketing. It can be the logistic that leads to the supply chain, and then they feed live analysis and production to them. Now, the digital experience is still evolving, and demand for the data collection system will increase using AI, and it is of itself important in changing the future technology and the business. Next slide, please. All right. There are a lot of concerns around me. So why I choose this topic, why I thought that this is one of the most important problem we should talk about this, because although there are many advantages of AI data collection system, but there are few selected points which are imperative to user experience. Nowadays, the user is so scared of what they have collected, what is stored, and what is the use with their data. Another big factor in having good uses of data relies on transparency, which is the user should know how the data came and will be used by the organization. These systems are also difficult to use sometimes because of the complex interface, and poor user interface result in the pure interaction, obviously. So the data collection should be reliable and accurate, and my customer should know that their data is so secure. Next slide, please. The purpose of this study. The study aims to investigate how the privacy, transparency, ethical concerns, usability, and reliability influence the level of confidence and minor engagement of users in AI data collection system. Now, using these key factors as a starting point, the research is to first determine the challenges and the opportunities of enriching users' experience with the system. It explores understanding what else elements mean for how user perception is shaped, and in combination with them, how they can help to shape the development of better AI data collection technologies for users. Next slide, please. These are the research questions of my study that is totally based on. I have 5 research questions. So the first one is, what impact user privacy, trust, and engagement with such AI data collection system? Second one is, what impact does data transparency have on perception acceptance? The third one is, which ethical consideration? Now, the ethical consideration when it comes to AI, ethical consideration is one of the most important things we should learn about it. The organizer should consider this point as a main important point for the customer's perspective and for the merchant perspective as well. So which ethical considerations are important in the design of users' experience with this system? What are the effects of usability of AI data collection system on user satisfaction and interaction efficiency? The last one, my research is based on how important is maintaining that user confidence and trust in these systems to have the reliability and accuracy of the data collection itself. Next slide, please. Here is the summarized story of my literature review. I have studied a lot of the articles because AI and marketing I'm totally based on. My PhD work is on the AI and technology, marketing domain, digital marketing, social media marketing. So after summarizing the whole literature review, here are my studies that from artificial intelligence has made its mark in the data collection over the years. When it's come to evolution in data collection, has significantly transformed how organization is going to collect, process, the utilize data. There is a marked great step forward in terms of integrating AI in data collection system. Machine learning and NLP, NLP is also known as the natural language processing, that has made it possible to automate the process of data collection from a far wider area of sources. Obviously, if I'm going to do that from the human source, it's going to be so time consuming. So I believe it's better to give a human touch plus AI rather than depending whole work on AI. This is my perspective that there should be a AI and human touch in everything. When it comes to AI system that are not purely functional, but they are also friendly and interesting, require user experience design. Particularly with respect to designing AI system, there are few UX theories and principles that are relevant and design. When it comes to a theory, human-centered design is a basic UX approach on how to design system based around the desire, behavior, and limitation of users. Now here, human-centered design in AI system is a process of user feedback-driven testing. Here, the feedback is one of the most important keyword that refine the guarantee that AI system deliver the seamless experience and meet user expectations. Second theory is explanatory and transparency are the key in AI UX design. Here, especially for users in decision-making situation, they should understand how AI system decide, which attempt to explain how and why some decision outcomes and reach are given some inputs. When it comes to the towards an ethical design front and centered, this study focused on the about the ethical design with AI system that includes respecting the user privacy with privacy by design, providing user consent in a way that can understand and human accountability. Usability and accessibility. These are the two most important principles of UX that focus on designing easy to use interface, easy instructions to know what to do, and the system in responsive and reliable accessibility. There's another study where the transparency and accountability were touched. There was a website, my system, my platform. He or she should know that where the data is going. Are the data is going to be protected? Because whenever we are going to shop from any website, they always going to ask about the autofill. And we just click and all the information is filled automatically. Sometimes before, when we go from social media to their website, from Facebook, from Instagram to directly to their website, they always give us the option of signing as a guest, where there's no personal information is required, only your address, if in case you are ordering something. But nowadays, you have to give your email, you have to give your full name, you have to give your registered phone number. So now my customer is so educated, they know that the data is being protected. There is no harm to share the bank details. There is no harm to share the personal information. Next slide, please. Methodology. Now, when it's the methodology, my study is based on the qualitative approach that using a semi-structured interviews and focus group was employed, gather in-depth insights into user experience with AI data collection system focusing on privacy, transparency, usability, and ethical concern. When it comes to data collection, semi-structured interviews and focus group were used to access user experience sorry, with AI data collection system. To gain in-depth insight into user perception, feelings, and experience, these qualitative methods were chosen. From my perspective, the qualitative method is one of the best approach. Here, I can communicate with my audience. I can see the reaction. I can easily analyze what actually is going on because small group of users in my study were brought together to discuss the experience of what AI is doing, how we are trusting AI. Now, this approach made way for dynamic interaction and idea sharing, along with the broader views of common themes and issues. The discussion were rich enough to allow for living writing down of participant thoughts, inspiring them openly share because I already told them that I'm going to share your reviews, but there will be no personal information. Like I have mentioned that participant one, participant two views, participant third view. I didn't mention their name. I didn't mention their any kind of demographic. So the personal profile was secure. When it comes to the sampling and participation, for my study, persuasive sampling was used to select participants to ensure that they represent a diverse cross-section of users with various level of experience. The sample comprised of 30 individuals and the age group was the 18 to 65 year of age because the 18 to 65 of having the age group have a diverse professional domains, healthcare, finance, marketing, and technology. But when the diversity that came out of this allowed me to experience all part of the user experience across contexts. The data analysis, thematic analysis, when it comes to qualitative approach, thematic analysis can be done easily from the Anvivo software. Next slide, please. Okay, before moving to the limitations, I would like to tell about the themes that I have in my paper. The number one theme was privacy concern. Second theme was transparency. Now each theme has a 2 or 3 respondent at least. Third theme was usability. Fourth, ethical consideration. And fifth one was reliability and accuracy. Now, limitations of my study was obviously when it comes to sample size, while my study included only 30 participants, which is a somewhat starting point from which to inform, it may not adequately represent the entire of the user of AI data collection system with a larger, but I suggest for the future that there should be a larger sample size. And for the qualitative nature, the method used for the research were qualitative, such as interviews or focus group, giving me a deep and detailed information. But this introduced 2 points. Finding are based on personal experience, and that the results are derived from the user perception, which are far from uniform. Self-reported data here, this is the self-report data in that it is based on what participants report about their experience and perception. Now, it is going to be obviously vary from by participant to participant, and this can lead to bias because people may often remember or tell the truth about their experience. When it comes to the evolving technology, obviously, when it comes to AI, we're always going to talk about the technology as well. The user experience and concerns are evolving with AI technology, right? So quickly that it can be moving target. Today, what is relevant may not be relevant in the future because of the technology is changing very fastly. Next slide, please. Thank you. Findings. Okay, the findings of my papers, let me collectively summarize this slide that my findings were privacy and transparency because our user expressed a serious concern about the data privacy. Nowadays, if my customer is so and my audience is so educated, so they have a good command on the privacy and transparency views as well. They know that from where they should get the privacy, they should, what is at the privacy domain, how much privacy they should be. Now, when it comes to usability and ethical consideration, users highlight in my study that their need for user-friendly interface and raise concern about the AI bias, emphasizing the importance of fair and unbiased AI system. And the in the aspect of reliability, to maintain the trust from the user, the most important factor onto my study that is based for the reliability and the accuracy of data collection. According to my participant, AI system caused users to need to trust that the data collected by AI system were accurate and that the AI system would be performed consistently all time. Now, this accuracy of the data collected by AI system is critical, one of my participants said, but that can result in a bad decision and bad outcome if the data is incorrect. Obviously, we are using ChatGPT, we are using Gemini, we are using Copilot. If you want any kind of numerical data, we are going to ask them, but they have a limited attribute, they have limited data. If we are going to talk about the ChatGPT, they were having the limited data from past year only by the 2022. They don't have any idea what happened at 2021, 2022. No. So I believed that if we are totally basing on AI or AI domains, AI tools, so we should be more, we should see the more ethical ways to use them. We have, we should be on human touch as well. Next slide, please. Recommendations. Okay, when it comes to recommendations, obviously to be very honest, when it comes to recommendation, we should be very natural, we should be very neutral when it comes to recommendation, because my research can be biased, my research can be like, as I take the sample size very small. So here's the recommendations which I thought of from the studies, from each and everything to my study as well. That design recommendation, here the developers and business should prioritize privacy to improve AI data collection system and user experience, that need to put measure like data encryption and anonymization in place and disclose it clearly to users. When it is also important to increase transparency, providing clear and simple data collection practices using simple language and written. At when it comes to simple language, it means the customer, it means my customer, my audience language. I know the demographic, so my keyword should match to that specific demographic. Now, policy suggestion: the regulation of data privacy must be strengthened to enrich data collection practices by securing responsible data from users through data encryption and storing data in this secure storage. It should also impose transparency requirement on these organizations, requiring them to openly describe their practices of data collection. They should not hide anything from their audience. So there, in this, the audience will be more concerned and audience is going to trust on your organization. Now, future research and direction. Research in the future should be a longitudinal story to understand how long the privacy, transparency, and ethical practices can affect the user trust and participation. It is important to develop advanced usability testing method to uncover and resolve specific users. Now, if I'm going to about the continuous improvement, obviously every organization, technology is changing day by day. So if my organization is not going to monitor, if my organization is not improving continuously along with the technology, my audience is not going to be interested in my product in the future. Next slide, please. This is the conclusion of my whole study, that more broadly speaking, AI has wide-reaching application in user experience design. As AI system, sorry, as AI system become more and more integral part of our digital lives, my study aim was to establish the AI system that not only fulfill technical requirement but also address the trust and involvement forms user by dealing with privacy, transparency, and ethical concern. My study helps with that, for example, the roadmap of creating more user-centric AI technology that is both effective and user needs and expectations aligned. And in the end, call to action in the development and EM and implement of AI system. I guess we must take care to prioritize user experience, as otherwise we risk the development of more and more banal application. Quality of privacy, data practices, and ethical AI activities play into a developer's process of design. Further, research on the multiple forms like AI will have our user experience suggested to further fully understand the impact of AI so that future innovation can actually come from the knowledge. Thank you so much. It's all from my side. This is all about my paper. That's it.
Thank you, Dr. Aisha Sheikh. She was talking about the AI, so it's very good. Thank you very much. We are very short of time and we are delayed actually due to some technical reason. Plus, the previous session actually 2 sessions were delayed, so we pushed some time extra actually. So our keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Aidam bint Mustafa from Malaysia is here. So we will hold the two presentations we have here. So we're going to take the two presentation afterward. We gave time her to 2:30 p.m. actually. So we are very sorry, Dr. Aida. Thank you very much for joining here for HIBA International Conference, fourth HIBA International Conference. Thank you very much. So we welcome Professor Dr. Aida Mustafa for her keynote speaker speech. She is the Deputy Vice Chancellor. Earlier, she was a professor in intelligence, artificial intelligence. Now she is a Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovation Department in University of Malaysia. So we welcome Professor Dr. Aida. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Can I share the screen?
Yeah, sure. Please, you can go ahead.
Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah, madam.
Okay, fantastic. Hold on, All right. Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon. It is 5:46 in Malaysia. Thank you so much for inviting me to the conference. And I apologize, I'm not able to join since morning session. My name is Aida Mustafa. I'm currently serving University Malaysia Pahang Al Sultan Abdullah, or we call it in short UMPSA, as Deputy Vice Chancellor Research and Innovation. My area is artificial intelligence, and my main I would say passion my main passion, I focus on machine learning, deep learning, computational intelligence, as well as computational linguistics. My PhD was actually on computational linguistics. We used to call the area of computational linguistics as natural language processing. So they have a new name now. So for today, I'm only given 15 minutes. I have one short presentation from equations to innovation, because I believe that the current, I would say, the current wave, we are going forward from machine learning, previously from machine learning to deep learning, and now we are going for generative learning. And in order for us to really understand and appreciate, I would say appreciate, we have to understand, or at least understand the relationships from the mathematical and statistical background that leads to generative AI. So I'll be very short and concise. Basically, we are going to go through about the overview of the fields interplay, and then what are the core approach in mathematics and statistics being used in generative AI. And we also see some statistical models that drive generative AI. What are the importance of geometric and topological insights? This one with relate to manifold learning, and some real world impact, and also the future of generative AI. What are the challenges and ethical consideration that we should consider in creating AI application. I teach data mining, data science, I think for close to 15 years now. And the challenge is always about finding a good data, because when we want to do any analysis or visualization from a data, in order for us to proceed with whether we want to do prediction or clustering or association learning, we must able to source a good data to sample, to give as examples to student. There are a lot of data set available, but in order to teach the student, the actual work being done is by going through or by having raw data or the real world data. All right, so we go through generative AI now. If you still remember, AI, artificial intelligence, is one of the one of the sub-field from computer science. There are a lot more. There are networking, for example, information system. So AI is one of it. And under AI, there are many other subfields as well. They're focusing on machine learning, computer vision, natural language processing. So for today's session, we are going to focus on machine learning. And machine learning, the core, if you remember, the pioneering algorithm, artificial neural networks is like, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 years ago. It's very old now, but with the advancement of physical devices, for example, chips. Now, we are going, NVIDIA, for example, has already offering AI chips, AI capacity embedded in chips. And as chips become smaller and become smarter, there are the importance of machine learning algorithm, deep learning algorithms cannot be stressed more, because it is very important that we know as the technology grows, there are a lot more things that we can do. There are a lot more patterns can be derived, can be understood. So from AI, under AI, we have machine learning. As you're all aware, there are different types of learning. We have supervised learning, where we have samples, instances, and then we have classes. And then we have unsupervised learning. For example, for clustering, whereby we don't have a class. And the rule for unsupervised learning is to find patterns or cluster. We also have reinforcement learning. For example, in the case of let me see, automatic parking, for example. And finally, we have deep learning. So under deep learning, there is one, deep learning basically is the extension of all algorithms, such as artificial neural network, that has evolved into CNN, convolutional neural networks, and others, RNN and others. So under deep learning, we have one small area which we call generative AI. Now, under generative AI, the difference between generative AI with other machine learning algorithm is, we can see from the name, it generates. So if we can imagine, in ordinary learning, we have all the samples, maybe we have 10 instances, or 100, or 100,000, or 1 million data points that we want to learn. And the focus is always whether we want to do prediction, we want to predict trends, patterns, or we want to classify from the data. But the core thing about machine learning is that they learn from samples. But in generative AI, the beautiful thing about generative AI is that they don't only learn from samples. The way they learn is actually by generating new samples, then they relearn based on the new distribution of the samples. So that is the beautiful part of generative AI. We will see later. There are many examples. For example, GAN, generative adversarial network, that is also, I think, 5 years ago, 5 years old. And we also have variation autoencoders and many others. So basically, the difference between discriminative and generative models, I mentioned about the ordinary, or the original, or the common machine learning algorithms, including deep learning algorithms. They are all discriminative model. So for discriminative models, they always discriminate between different instances. So how do we classify? How do we, given one latent space, how do we divide into two planes, for example, and we decide whether this is from first class or the second class? But generative AI, they create new data instances. So the most important thing about generative AI is that where do the concepts come from? Mainly, they are very driven by mathematical optimization and also statistical inference. These are the two main things. I teach data science, data mining, I came from two different universities. In my previous universities, when I teach for computer science students, we usually the curriculum we focus on algorithms and optimization. But recently, when I moved to another department under mathematics and statistics, there are different way of thought, different school of thoughts. Even if you see in under machine learning, there is a statistical, the entire statistical branch, in which probability theory take a lead. One example is on Bayesian naive Bayes, then we have Bayesian network, and then we have dynamic Bayesian networks. So the core is about probability theory. So if we were to teach student, or if you were to start research on generative AI, you need this probability theory. You need to know about distribution. We have usually the data are all using Gaussian distribution. What are the optimization techniques? There are many optimization techniques under machine learning, core machine learning algorithm. For example, genetic algorithm. Genetic algorithm we can use for prediction, classification, as well as feature dimensionality reduction. It is great for optimization technique, but it is great as optimization technique. But not all machine learning algorithm that can be used for optimization technique. So we always focus on mathematical techniques, the basic one. For example, like gradient descent, cost function minimization. These are all mostly embedded under many. If you look at the algorithms, it is embedded in many of existing machine learning algorithm. The other one is statistical estimation, maximum likelihood estimation, MLE, is very basic, is very old, but still being used in many of the learning tasks that we have now. So basically, what we want to do by having statistical estimation, we want to use an estimation method or an inference method to ensure that the models can learn from the data. This is very important for generative AI because remember, generative AI, they create new samples. So we have, let's say we have sample A. These are all the normal data that we have. Then generative AI algorithm will create new samples, which is these samples. And all these samples will be joined together and they will relearn the distribution. Therefore, we need a very, I would say, trustworthy, or we need an accurate technique to estimate back the distribution from the new data. We need to get back the new distribution from both the generated data and the original data. So basically, probability theory in generative AI, if you remember, this is just a normal Gaussian distribution. So generative AI, again, they do sampling from the learned distribution in order to generate. So random variables and also latent random variables in latent spaces is very significant, because when we have all the data, then we refer to all the points as in latent spaces. So within the latent spaces, this is where we need to relearn the distribution before we perform any task. For example, if you want to do prediction or maybe other machine learning tasks. This is very common optimization technique in model training. When we train a model based on the data, we always want to minimize the loss function. We can use gradient descent to improve the output quality. And then why it is important, because we want to make sure that all the models that the specific models that we develop will converge towards accurate data representation. The data representation is very important because given a lot of data, when we talk about, for example, big data that has high in volume, that has velocity, that are very variety, very diverse. So we need we need to make sure that the model will capture accurately all the representation that is available, because we want to understand that for each one single instance, we can imagine one single row or one single input, there are many features, or sometimes we call it variables, sometimes we call it attributes. And given a very large data set, there must be an underlying pattern. This is what we call the manifold. So a good optimization technique in model training will make sure that all your models will converge towards a very accurate data representation. So given one big whole chunk of data, we want to develop a model based on the data, and we want to make sure that the model is tightly closely fit to the actual data, so that when we do anything, when we do, for example, inference, we want to predict future point, it will be as accurate as going through using the entire data. So this is also I mentioned about MLE and also Bayesian inference. We can see the application in VAE, variational autoencoders. I will briefly explain about it a bit later. So how statistical model drive generative AI? Again, we talk about VAE, latent space representation, and GAN. So there are two parts here. One is, variational autoencoders. So the idea is that for autoencoders, we have encoder and decoder. Same goes with generative adversarial network. We have a generator, we have a discriminator, because they have to work in pair. They have to one part is to take in the actual data, and the other one has to create new sample, new data point. So when we create a new data point, then we have to learn again from the new distribution and predict and perform again whether the samples or the new data point correctly represent the actual data that is being used in the first place. So for VAE, encoder and decoder, basically the work of encoder, they take in input, they compress into one compact latent representation, and then they will relearn and output one new distribution. And then the decoder will sample a point only from this distribution and then reconstruct the original input as mentioned here, as accurately as possible. So that is why generative AI works very well in spaces or in industries where we have limited real-world samples. So for GAN, same goes for adversarial framework. We have a generator and a discriminator. They do the training process, the generated from the latent space, and then we have the generator will generate fake samples. Then we have real samples. The discriminator will decide whether it is correct or not, and then fine tune all the training. So at the end, we want to converge to be, the model has to be as close as can be to the actual model, actual samples. So in, I mentioned about manifold hypothesis. In manifold hypothesis, it says data lies on lower dimensional manifolds. If you remember, manifolds learning is about, it is an approach to non-linear dimensionality reduction. Remember, we have row, all the instances, and then we have columns, all the features. If we have too many of the features, we need to reduce, and this is where the term dimensionality reduction comes in, because we want to find the correct or the most representative features or attribute only, and disregard the rest. So topology in data analysis is very important because we want to preserve the data structure. If you see on the right hand side, that is a manifold of handwritten digits on written or visualized as a two-dimensional representation. So basically, for example, if you remember classification problem, this is prime example, because we want to create a manifold that is able to disjoin or separate between two types of data. That is binary, in the case for binary classification. And you know that we also have multi-class classification, because binary, if we have we have two classes, for example, yes or no, rain or not rain. For cancer, maybe benign, malign. And for multi-class classification, it may be, for example, in a football game, it is win, lose, or draw. That is already under multi-class classification. So these are some of the different some of the models available under generative AI, that using diffusion models and as well as stochastic processes. So if you see, we have generative adversarial network, we have discriminator and generator, VAE, variational autoencoders. There are also flow-based method, whereby in flow-based method, they use an inverse function. Given a function, they will inverse and then they will get new samples. We also have diffusion models, whereby in diffusion models, they add Gaussian noise and then reverse the process. These are the creative ways of how we want to construct new data, new samples, or new points. If you imagine, if you remember, in generative AI now, we can construct, we can edit pictures, right? We can say, okay, I want to change these jeans to different colors. It made possible by either one of the method. For example, if diffusion model, they will add noise to that point, little by little, and then they reverse back in order to get new samples, and they will create a new outlook or a new output. So next, okay, the real world impact. We have seen and we have read a lot of potential on generative AI use cases. One is text generation and summarization, augmented authoring. We have seen this in ChatGPT. I think ChatGPT was introduced end of 2023, if I'm not mistaken. Back in 2018, I did one keynote. I did one TEDx presentation on conversational agent. From chatbots to humanoid. In that session, I did mention, is it difficult to build a chatbot? The answer is no. But would I build it? I would also say no, because I would rather wait for the technology to come. And ChatGPT was the answer to that. Given the ability of large language model, whereby they are trained on billions of tokens, the ability to reconstruct language on the fly, that is the result of having large language model. Whereby if we go through, if you remember the area of natural language processing, started with two parts: natural language understanding, how we do parsing, how do we parse a sentence. First we tokenize, and then we do part of speech tagging, and then name entity recognition. Then the second part is natural language generation. So LLM is the answer to that, because it can generate new samples of text. So how could it be possible they generate a very fluent and correct grammatically correct sentences? Because they learn from that billion of tokens. That is the strength of a large language model. And also generative AI also being used in design and engineering. We can speed up product development iteration. But then again, all models highly depend on the data that they're trained on. Recently I met a researcher from Korea, and I asked about the potential of using ChatGPT within the cultural context, and they said not good, because the data or the historical data that are available worldwide or online are mostly coming from Japan culture. What happened is, when somebody asks about Korean culture, the answer will include those come from Japan. This is what we call sovereignty in AI. That means a country, in order for a country to correctly represent their culture or maybe their history, the data or the large language model need to be trained on the data specific to the country. Same goes if we you see point number 4 for computer programming, writing and debugging code. Now for coding, we can also use ChatGPT or large language model to do coding. How can the model create the code on the fly? Because they are trained from the same answer, billion of token from original code, so they can easily switch from one code, for example, from Java, one function or structure, and then go to C or C++. That is very easy because the training has been done. And finally, conversation agent, chatbots, and humanoids. Okay, so some insight on the business strategies. I also I often being asked on how to deploy AI initiative, whether we want to go straight away, buy, invest on server, invest on AI chips by NVIDIA, for example. The advice that I give is always focus on use cases, small use cases. What are within an organization or within your research, what are the small thing that is most impactful or most relevant, or giving or able to give the highest value to the user? Then only we start working on that specific use case, and we don't need to start with long range future AI technology investment. It's not necessary anymore. The world does not work. The model is no longer like that. If you remember Netflix, even in entertainment, everything is going through subscription base. Okay, some consideration and responsibilities. Again, copyright infringement, copyrightability of output, because AI is not an entity. Therefore, if they create poems, we cannot give a copyright of the poems to them, because it is not a legal entity. Reliability on the content created, data privacy, because remember the trained data just now. So inherent bias and hate speech. So these are all very much depending on the data, on the billions of tokens that they are trained on. So some features, it says here, by 2026, single modality AI model will lose out to multi-model AI. That means we are going to see application that can move or can switch from text to voice on the fly, and also the incorporation of more medium to be used. For example, image input no longer restricted to for example, text only. So input can be in image, it can be in audio, it can even be in video. So that's the power of generative AI. For example, if I were to do summarization, if I were to ask a model to summarize content for me, previously I can maybe I can upload one document, 300 pages of document. But now I can also make summarization from audio only, or from YouTube video. That is also possible. And by 2027, the models, the foundation model will underpin 70% of using language, which is very high jump as compared to 5% in 2022. So you can see the Gartner analysis, the range of time of the development, given whether it is a model related or model performance and AI safety, build and data related or application related. So if you see one here, AI code generation. AI code generations, it says here very high, and it will come under 1 to 3 years only. So within a year, now in 2025, immediately we can see virtual assistant, knowledge graph. Yeah, that's all. Because hallucination management is 1 to 3 years. Okay, so the future of generative AI very much depend on responsible use of mathematics and statistics to ensure ethical, safe, and fair models that benefit society without introducing harm. If you go through Microsoft professional certification, I'm a certified trainer for Microsoft. They have the responsibility, responsible AI. There is always a module on responsible AI. So on ethics, on fairness, on inclusivity, on to avoid bias, these are all elements that we must, the principles that we must hold on in order before we can promote any of our model that we use. That means if we build an application, then we must state, we must be transparent. This model is trained on data where are the data source. For example, very specific from Malaysian data set, for example. And then at the end, we would like to see more and more application comes with the introduction of generative AI. If you see, once LLM, once ChatGPT takes off, we can already see there are many applications downloadable from Google Play Store and also or Apple App Store, because it is easy to do. Many variety of application, given that the base model is already there. Now, that's why I said in the beginning, in my earlier slide, generative is creative, and the sky is the limit, basically. So some final word, maths and stats are not just abstract tools, but vital engines to drive future of generative AI, powering real-world impact and ensuring ethical use in society. In whatever that you do, in whatever research that we do, always go back to what are the, for example, in artificial neural network, we know about the activation function. So what are the mathematics or statistical techniques that being used or derived on to build the all the machine learning models. Okay, that is all I have for now. Feel free to connect me on LinkedIn as well. Thank you so much. Sorry, did you all see my screen just now? Not at all?
Yes, yes, I have. I'm seeing your screen.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a nice day and have a great conference.
I would like to thank
Yeah.
you, Dr. Aida. for shedding some light on the fascinating yet complex process of AI data and deep learning.
Thank you too. I'll see you soon.
It's nice to see you at this platform. So we will be in contact in future, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Aida. It's kind of you sparing your time for this conference. Inshallah, Ta'ala will have a long-term relationship with the institution and you, inshallah, and we'll like to learn more from you, inshallah. So now is we have 5:21. Two more presentations we have actually, so quickly we want to go finish and we want to start our panel discussion. So let's call our next presenter, Muhammad Sufyan. Are you here, please?
Yes, sir. I'm
Yeah, please go ahead quickly. Let me find out your presentation. Hold on.
Can I present from my side? And I open here from my laptop. Actually, sir, I have made some changes. Added a picture in the presentation.
शेव देंगे तुम्हारे 12 4 बजेंगे. Yes, Sufyan, please go ahead.
Yes. I'm Muhammad Sufyan, a student of Government Islamia Graduate College, Civil and Building. First of all, I would like to thank to Dr. Mohammed Webber who helps me.
Yeah, are you sharing also the screen?
Yes, sir. I have opened it my side.
Okay.
Can I start?
Yeah, please go ahead quickly.
Okay.
We have to, we are short of time.
Okay, sir. So, shortly, I have my topic was.
Speak loudly, please. A little bit loudly. Yeah.
Yes, sir, yes. My voice is clear.
Yeah, now clear.
Okay, sir. So my topic is relevant to the wind turbines. So basically, I have studied a basic study on wind turbines, and I have selected a model that can we use in our country that give us electricity. So basically, I would start with the introduction. Wind turbines devices converting wind's kinetic energy into mechanical and electrical energy. So its significance is that it can generate renewable energy source, and it is essential for sustainable power solutions. Basic components of wind turbines are blades, rotor, nacelle, generator, and tower. So blades are used to capture wind energy that is given to the rotor, which spins and generate the gearbox. Then the gearbox convert to the generator, and generator the convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. The basic diagram of the wind is here. So here is the basic diagram of the wind. So here the blades are shown. The middle is the router and our hub. The Nestle is installed here. The model I have presented had no gearbox, which is advantages for the making electricity. So generator is installed here. The basic objectives of my study is to evaluate wind turbine efficiency using mathematical models. I have used some mathematical modeling, but due to instruction of 6 slides, so I have not added, but I have included the basic equation of my mathematical models. To understand the relationship between turbine design and power output, I have used a unique model that is very effective for our country. The third one is to analyze the suitability of specific turbine designs for Karachi's wind conditions. I have selected the region of Karachi for some conditions that I have explained above. So the methodology of my work. There is theoretical approach. I have used some mathematical modeling of wind turbine power output. Batch limit analysis for efficiency constraints. The batch limits shows that the wind energy cannot produce more than 59.3% electrical energy. The proof is shown, but due to shortage of time, I cannot provide this. The model, the case study I have chosen for this is the Siemens Gamesa 14222DD. Here, 222 is the diameter of the router and 14 is the length. And DD direct drive. Direct drive means that there is no gearbox in the wind turbine. And the router directly converts the generator into mechanical energy. That means the kinetic energy is not very reduced due to this. The power equation is given that P is equal to 1 by 2 rho AV cube Cp. Here, rho is the density of the air, A is the area, V is the velocity, speed of the air, and C power coefficient. Here we can see that the maximum electrical energy we have is 0.59 or 59%. So results and conclusion. Siemens Gamesa 14222 is optimal for Karachi average. So basically, the wind turbines need at least the minimum wind speed is 3 meter per second and maximum is 11 meter per second. Then I studied on the Karachi region. There is average speed is 5 to 8 meter per second. So we the Karachi is the best option for this model to install it. Direct drive technology ensures higher efficiency and reduce maintenance. Direct drive means that using no gearbox and direct relation to the generator will give us advantages. Conclusion. Mathematical modeling validates performance prediction. Using mathematical modeling, I have predicted the best results that we have electricity using wind turbine model of Siemens Gamesa 14222DD. Wind turbines are highly effective for renewable energy in urban settings. We all know that the wind turbines have very effective and produce electricity for us in urban settings. So I have studied that we can use it in our country, and therefore I have selected this model that is really fit to the region of the Karachi, and this can produce us 59% electricity in the region of Karachi. And so the next is the suggestion for implementation. So the first one is the technology selection. The technology I have used is DD direct drive wind turbines for better reliability and efficiency. And more normally there are wind turbines that uses gearbox. Gearbox we all know that is also used in vehicles, auto cars. So we used to rotate the rotor. So there is no gearbox in my model. So its advantages because due to no gearbox, the kinetic energy will not be reduced. So local strategy I have used is install turbines in areas with consistent wind speeds like Karachi. So policy recommendations encourage government incentives for renewable energy projects. So my aim is to produce this electricity to solve the issues of electricity in Karachi areas. Public engagement. increase awareness about the benefits of wind energy. We are the wind energies. We are not using the wind. I really don't know, but I think we are not using the wind energy to produce electricity. So I have suggested to the public engagement to use this model so that it can produce. So here are my references. Thank you.
Yeah, Sufyan, thank you very much. Our next presenter will be Moeed, Mohammed Abdul Moeed. Abdul Moeed, are you there, please?
Yes, I am here. Can I start?
Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Muhammad Abdul Moeed Shahid, and I am graduate student and Government Islamia Graduate College, Civil Lines, Lahore. And my research topic is the impact of particle size on the lead filtration efficiency of cyclone separator by using ANSYS computational fluid dynamics. As we know that the environmental pollution by heavy metals is an alarming global issue, and with the modernization in industry and technology, the concentration of these heavy metals in air is increasing. These heavy metals are toxic and has damaging effect of all kind of lives living on Earth. Every year, over 5.5 million people die prematurely due to air pollution caused by these heavy metals. And different research shows that the lead particles are egregious for human health. Lead particles are non-biodegradable and can lead to many severe diseases like cancer, kidney and liver damage, low IQ levels among children, and nervous system disorder. And cyclone separators are brilliant devices to separate material particles from the fluid. They are widely used in industries for the separation of solid dust particles, and it has many advantages over other because of their non-complex geometry, low operating cost, maintenance, and are environmental friendly. Cyclone separators are normally consist of a rectangular shaped inlet which allow the solid gas mixture to enter into the cyclone body. The outlet is on the top of the cyclone body, and there is a collector bin is at the bottom of the cyclone body where lead particles will be collected. And instead of using filters, cyclone separators works on the principle of the vortex separation. And the objective of this research is to develop a cost-effective method for filtering the lead particles from the air. And to achieve this, a cyclone separator is designed and evaluated for its ability to effectively remove lead particles. And additionally, this study will investigate the impact of particle size on the efficiency of the cyclone separator. Advanced simulation software, ANSYS Fluid Dynamics, will be utilized to model and analyze the separator's performance under varying conditions. Yeah, as I told earlier, for this research, ANSYS software is used. ANSYS is actually an exceptionally impressive and inventive software for multi-physics simulation. It is basically an analyzing software which provides its user an understanding of how their product will work or not in real-time conditions. The first diagram you can see is designed in ANSYS of cyclone separator, and the second diagram is the meshed diagram of a cyclone separator. Meshing in ANSYS is actually a process of dividing complex geometry into smaller, simpler elements to make it manageable for numerical analysis. So giving some boundary conditions to our cyclone separator, we allow different size of particle to enter from the inlet, and then we see the efficiency of the cyclone separator. First, we change the particle size to 4 micrometer and allow it to enter from inlet with a velocity of 3 meter per second. Then we see that the number of trapped particles was 1560, and the number of trapped particles which entered in the collector bin was 309, and we got the efficiency of 21.68. And at the 4.5 micrometer, same amount of particles were tracked, and the trapped particles were increased, which was 460, and the efficiency was 31.7. By changing the particle size, and at the end we change the particle size of 6.5 micrometer and got the efficiency of 84.15%. Here's the graph between efficiency and the particle size. As you can see from the graph that with the increase in the particle size, the efficiency of the cyclone separators also increases. And the second diagram is the particle shaped results, in which you can see the particles are colliding with the cylindrical body of the cyclone separator and entering in the collector bin. Here is the video representation of how particles are trapped in the collector bin after colliding with the wall. So from this research, we concluded that we got the minimum efficiency of 21.68% and got the maximum efficiency of 84.15%. So we can conclude from this research that the efficiency of the cyclone separator depends on the size of the lead particles. And cyclone separator has proved to be an excellent device for the filtration of the lead particles from the air. And ANSYS is proved to be a very powerful and innovative software to deal with multi-physics problem with minute uncertainty. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So Alhamdulillah, we have completed our presentations for the session number 3, and I would welcome Professor Dr. Javed Afzal to give his comments. He's the chair.
Okay. In the first presentation, Dr. Aisha Sheikh, she has explored innovative strategies and challenges associated with the collecting data for AI systems. And she told us about the AI thrives on data. And today we will delve into how diverse data sets drive performance and enhance machine learning models. Her methodological approach is very good. Overall, her research offers a strong foundation for advancing ethical and user-centric AI technologies. It will be exciting to see how these insights contribute to developing systems that are both effective and trustworthy. I would like to thank Dr. Aisha today for shedding some light on the fascinating yet complex process of AI data collection. And then we got the presentation from Dr. Raida from Malaysia. So in her presentation, she told us about the generative AI data. created by AI systems like generative adversarial networks, or language models mimicking the characteristics of real-world data. For instance, AI can generate realistic-looking faces, natural-sounding human conversations, or even synthetic medical records for the research purposes. So she also told us about the deep learning, which continues to drive advances across industries, powering applications that were once considered science fiction. So I would like to thank Dr. Aida for having the nice presentation on the complex topic of AI data and the deep learning. After this, my student Sufyan has appeared. So thank you, Sufyan, for your insightful presentation on the potential of wind turbines, particularly in the context of Karachi's wind conditions. Your work effectively combines theoretical principles and the practical analysis of turbine technology, offering a compelling case for integrating renewable energy into urban planning. I appreciate your choice of this turbine, which aligns well with Karachi's wind profile and highlights the role of direct drive technology in improving efficiency and reducing maintenance challenges. I would encourage you to further elaborate on the socio-economic aspects of your proposed implementation strategies, such as how government incentives and public engagement can be tailored to the specific energy landscape of Karachi. So overall, your study provides a robust framework for enhancing urban energy solutions. And I look forward to seeing your work inspire actionable changes in renewable energy policies. Maybe it can happen in Pakistan. Finally, Moeed has come. Thank you, Abdul Moeed, for presenting your critical and timely research on the filtration efficiency of cyclone separators in addressing the lead pollutants. The application of ANSYS computational fluid dynamics to simulate the optimize the particle filtration process demonstrates a strong grasp of the both theoretical and practical approaches to mitigating air pollution. Your findings showing that filtration efficiency increases with the particle size, and it offers a valuable insights into how cyclone separators can be tailored for lead particle removal. I particularly appreciate your emphasis on the broader health implications of lead exposure and the potential for this technology to contribute to improving the air quality index. Looking ahead, I encourage you to explore further refinements to cyclone separator design and expand its application to capture a wide range of pollutants, including nano-sized particles, which pose unique challenges. Additionally, I can say the integrating economic analysis and the scalability studies would enhance the practicality and the policy relevance of your work. Overall, your research is a step forward in combating heavy metal pollution and safeguarding public health. Well done, Mr. Moeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Javed. Very kind of you. Very valuable presentation we had, and nice feedback. So we are almost done with our third session. Now we are waiting for the fourth session. We are already going late. We have to be very fast. So let me invite our next session for keynote speaker, Dr. Ahmed Hamezi from Malaysia.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. Hello, Assalamualaikum.
Sir, welcome. How are you?
Yeah.
This is Honorable Dr. Ahmed Al-Humezi. He is the founder of the software, the co-founder of the software thesis. Thesis writing software, and is associate professor at University of Malaysia. Thank you, sir. Welcome. We welcome you in the HIBA 4th International Conference. Very kind of you.
Yeah.
So just we are
Thank you.
going a little bit late due to some reasons. So please, you can start. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I would like thank you for the organizer, for respective doctors, respective lecturers, professors here from all throughout the world, to give me opportunity to give present to you all about software thesis, which is I co-created with my brother Mazaim. Okay, so can I share the presentation?
Yeah, please. You
Okay,
go ahead.
okay. Okay, terusnya. Okay, do you see you see my slide right now?
Yes, sir. We can
Yeah,
see.
okay. So
Thank you.
I'm okay, I just present like this. I'm not so familiar with Zoom. But okay, as long as you can get the meaning, okay lah. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Um Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day to you all. Again, my name is Associate Professor Dr. Ahmad Maizi bin Hilmi from UC Malaysia Perlis, Malaysia. I've been teaching in mechanical manufacturing engineering subject for since 2002, 2002, 22 years. I'm this lecturing. My background is defense technology, which I'm dealing with research on military and everything lah. So based on experience the supervising students and everything, I found out the common problem on students if to understand the lecture. Okay, understand the lecture and understanding the papers that you read. Okay, so it happened to me. It happened to everyone that I know. When we have the problem when we read the journals, we don't understand the journals. Let alone when we want to write the journals, we also face the difficulty to analyze data and everything. Okay, so I come up with the concept of software thesis back in 2018. Uh, Back then there is no artificial intelligence that I can refer, and I create the software manually lah. The concept of this software I create manually. Then come my brother Mazaim, he's the programmer during the COVID-19 time. Uh, During the COVID-19 time, we have all the spare time in the world. My brother Mazaim, he developed the basic programming for software thesis, which is I call software thesis version 1. Okay. Uh, and then as the times go by, we create generation 2, software thesis version 2, and recently launching, myself and my brother has already launched software thesis version 3.0, which integrates artificial intelligence to help you automatically generate the literature metric, the review paper, and the thematic analysis, and much more will be coming in the near future. Okay, this is what we have done. Okay, Alhamdulillah, I have conducted many courses throughout Malaysia. Okay, my courses is face to face. Okay, because I believe in learning. We must meet our trainers. We must meet our lecturers. I believe all in this respective professors, respective lecturers here will agree with me. If we go for online, we become like a radio talking. We become a radio talking. Okay, so nothing, not much that we can learn using online punya online method. So I believe that's why when people ask me to do online because this my technique is hands-on technique lah kan. So back in 2020 22 23, beginning of ChatGPT, the advancements of ChatGPT, I believe this is the way forward of education, because uh, uh, as I stated in this last slide, I will come into the I will come back to the first slide later on after this. Artificial intelligence in education. This is my view on artificial intelligence. Okay, it is a way forward for this generation. Okay, we have this generation of students where myself when I give assignment to my student will open the smartphone to search all the results in ChatGPT and all other artificial intelligence. They can give the result on the spot. But I'm sure they do not know, they do not understand the result. Okay, this is the way forward for this generation of student. Okay, we as lecturers we accept this as a current trend. Use the artificial intelligence as assistant to finding information and use them as a tool for writing. Okay, but the most important is to always meet your lecturer to understand the subject matter. It's just like when we learn about all our education. I'm sure most of us here are Muslim. Like we learn how to pray, we learn how to recite the Quran and everything. We meet our ulama, our ustad, our lecturers, our teachers, and then the teacher will show us hands on how to pray, how to recite the Quran, everything. That is what I learned. What my generation uh, teach me lah. But I believe it is true for all generation. Throughout the future also must be like that. This must be uh, it is must be apa it is must be hands on. All the online education, uh, we must treat them as an revision on the subject matter. Okay, that is my opinion on artificial intelligence on in education. Okay, coming back to the survey thesis. Okay, survey thesis. Okay, this is my background. My PhD in defense technology. I do research on defense, um, military and everything. Okay, I have masters in UC from UC Technology Malaysia (UTM) in Advanced Manufacturing System and Bachelor of from UC Science Malaysia in Manufacturing with Management. Okay, so my thesis, the purpose of my thesis to assist researchers and students to efficiently drafting thesis content by automating extraction and organization of information from selected journals, articles, and papers. It will automated generation of thesis chapter, including chapter 1, research background, chapter 2, literature review, chapter 3, research methodology, chapter 4, result and discussion, chapter 5, conclusion. And then creation of thematic analysis to identify thematic gap and formulate research question, and integration with cloud services for seamless document upload and processing. This is the layout of the software thesis whenever you have the collection of journal papers. Let's say you have 100 the best of your papers. You have the best papers in your collection for your masters, for your PhD. You upload the PDF paper into Google Drive. You upload the PDF of your collection of your best papers into your Google Drive, and then uh, share the link with our software, and then our software will process everything, and you will get this result. Chapter 1.2 problem statement, chapter 1.3 research objective, chapter 1.4 expected result, chapter 1.1 research background, chapter 1.2 chapter 2 literature review, chapter 3 research methodology, chapter 4 result discussion, chapter 5 conclusion, chapter 6 research gap. And then for those who are doing data analysis, these are the names of data analysis here. These are the names of figures, charts, and diagram. These are the names of finite element tools, names of framework, names of image processing tools, material characterization, and tables. And fortunately, as I am the owner of the software, you can ask me to add anything that you feel you think that it is suitable for your few student, for your friends. Okay, you can ask me to add. The system is with me. I can add anything. Okay, I am the owner of the system. Okay, so this is the additional keywords for those who are doing any topics. This is your own keyword given to the system. It will select, it will find all the result the system. Inshallah, I have trained many students, many student for Malaysian student, and also for foreign student, everything they come and they learn from me lah. Okay, this is also the results in the list of methodologies. Did I say there are 200 names of analysis, algorithm, approach, behavior, and many more methodology, model, theories, equation. It is will become easy for you to understand to pinpoint the name of analysis. Let's say you are doing research on certain subject matter. The name of analysis like here sensitivity analysis, it appears 45 times, meaning that it is an important thing to do. You should include sensitivity analysis in your study. If not, maybe your result is incomplete. Okay, all the research gap, you see the lower ranking here. Here you can propose to your supervisor, this is your research gap. Okay, the way, and then these are the content example of the content folder, like this is research gap folder of research gap. Here research gap, chapter 6 research gap. This is example of the folder. Consider imaging trend, future, and everything. uh, uh, that time when I create software thesis, there are no artificial intelligence, there are no no, not yet have artificial intelligence like ChatGPT and everything back then. But what I do is I read and analyze everything manually, all my own, and I give all these names to my brother Zaim. He create the software to each, including the software. So this is the name like this author Lauren Hearn and everything. This is the DOI. This is the real paper, not hallucination by ChatGPT. Okay, so it will collect all this sentence, two sentence below, before, and two sentence after. Inshallah, with this collection of sentences, you can write anything. Okay,
Thank
this
you
is
very
my
much.
success story. Okay, my success story is as of December to 26 December 24, I have published 447 books in Amazon.com. I have
Oh, great.
430 books. Yeah, that's all for my presentation. Thank you very much,
Mashallah.
sir. Yeah,
MashaAllah. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Very valuable
yeah,
information. Again, we will actually planning to arrange a separate session with you. We are
yeah.
already late actually, so we are going to postpone our panel discussion for the next week. But only will just take one last presentation from Dr. Bilal. He is waiting from China. So I
Oh,
would you
okay.
can close your presentation, please, Dr. Mezi. And we'll just take one presentation from Dr. Bilal, and the panel discussion we're going to carry on next Saturday, inshallah. We'll arrange a special session for the panel discussion because we are already late for the closing session.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay, okay. Not a problem.
yeah, thank you. So
Thank
it's
you very
very
much.
kind of you. You gave the time. It's very good. Nice to see you here, and
Yeah,
hopefully we will call you back again and see you again very soon. And next
inshallah,
week we'll
inshallah.
join again. Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. Baik, baik.
Thank you.
Assalamualaikum.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Okay. So I would welcome Dr. Bilal to present the last presentation so that we can go for the closing session. Our guests are waiting for the closing session. Dr. Bilal, are you there, please?
Yes, I am here.
Yeah, you'll share the presentation or we should do it from here?
Yeah, I am going to share the presentation
Okay,
from
please go
myself.
ahead. Thank you very much. Just we have to do quickly. You're late actually. Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you. Yeah. Bilal, are you sharing?
I am facing some difficulty sharing my screen. Could you please
Should I
share
do
the
now from
presentation?
here?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, please. Yeah.
Yeah, I am able to present, share my screen now. So let me start.
Should I
So this
close
is,
myself?
yeah.
Okay.
So this is Dr. Bilal. I am going to present my research work related to machine learning and deep learning application in the field of medicine. So actually, I applied 12 deep machine learning algorithms, machine learning models to identify or diagnose heart disease by using the clinical data. So first of all, I want to give some basic concepts a little bit shortly. So what is machine learning? Actually, machine learning is something that is able to learn from the data without explicitly trained or programmed. And what is deep learning? Deep learning is when we have more than one layer, or when we have introduced number of layers to learn the complex patterns. We call it deep learning. There are a lot of models which fall under the deep learning, and then we recently transformers has introduced, which are more complex, and that needs much more computational power, and also fall under the deep learning domain. And deep learning is actually the part of machine learning. It is subdomain of machine learning. So it has a lot of applications, including cybersecurity, healthcare, medical image analysis, medical data analysis. My research work is mostly based on medical image analysis and medical clinical data analysis. So in this research paper, I actually applied machine learning models on data set that is relevant to the heart disease. These are the features that was in my data set, and it contains age, your gender, and your cholesterol level, and some other clinical features that are related to medical doctors. So in real world problem, we always need to consult a doctor, so that we need to get the appropriate features. And in the end, we will see how all these features are not going to take place in our decision making of models. Our model will take only few of the features that are more relevant, and we will see by using with the help of shape is actually the graphical representation of more important features. So these are the just two models how we use the performance measure. And if we see on the upper side of the screen, what is actually and on the left side there is the predictions. So if our prediction is actually the correct one, it is called correct. And if our prediction is actually the negative one, for example, if patient does not have any disease and our model also predicted it has no disease, then it is also the correct. And then there is type 1 error, type 2 error. These are the false positive and false negative respectively. And false positive is when some patient doesn't have any disease, but our model predicted it has a disease. So these are the basic flowchart. We can identify the how we are going to apply the performance measure. So these are the results from all those models. We can see neural network, these fall under the deep learning. They got the good results in recall is also called sensitivity. And in some other features, for example in precision, the QDA performed very well. And in terms of other performance measure, for example F1 is actually the balance between sensitivity and specificity. And in in F1 measure, QDA also performed well, and logistic regression is outperformed all the models in accuracy. And actually, while using the medical data, we don't always consider the accuracy the only feature. We need to consider other features also. And these are the graphical representation of our features. We can see the age has a little bit contribution in our heart disease, and then there is a cholesterol level, and then there is some other points. But there are some, for example, thalassemia. This feature is not important for our model. It may be important for medical diagnosis or for the medical doctors, but while our models were considering or finding the relationship, the models were not able to find any relationship with disease and the thalassemia. So all these features which are represented at the downside, they have no contribution in our model prediction. And actually, this feature is enable us to see which features are more relevant to the disease. And these are also the same diagram, but it is represented in a different way. And it was the end of my work, and I hope you will have a good day. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bilal. And we have considered his presentation in detail. The abstract, what we have seen, is very highly valuable and high quality. And he has been awarded a special for his this study, and he's been considered as a top study of the presentations what we have received. And he will be given a special gift on that one and a certificate. Thank you very much, Dr. Bilal from China. So in this way, we have completed our this session also. The panel discussion, after the discussing with the team, we have postponed for the next week on Saturday. Inshallah Ta'ala will announce, we make the schedule for that one. Just as only special panel session for panel discussion, we are actually going late because of some previous presentations and some technical issues also. So we're going to start now the closing session, and we'll welcome our chief keynote speakers. Our chief guest was on the line and he was trying to access, so I was helping him. Professor Dr. Atar Rahman, the chief guest, has joined us. Welcome, Professor Dr. Atar Rahman. He is a great scientist of our Pakistan, and we'll be soon listening to him. So now we'll start from our keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Shahida Sajjad. She is the Pro-Chancellor Academics in the Metropolitan University, Karachi. Thank you, Dr. Shahida. Let me load your presentation. Shahida, you can start. I'm just loading the presentation. You can start your talk. So thank you very much for joining.
today is about the technology, innovation, and policy for sustainable education ecosystem and how to integrate all these components. My next slide, please. So we all know that we are living in an era of technology, and the coming years will have more technology in every aspect of life, especially when we talk about the artificial intelligence data modeling system that will transform our approaches towards education, enabling unified data collection.
Sir, it seems her mic is muted.
Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Shall I share my screen if you have problem to upload it?
Can you see the presentation, please, Dr. Shahida there?
Okay. So I started my presentation, and it's about the integrating technology, innovation, and policy for sustainable education ecosystem. We know. Next, please. Next slide.
Dr. Shahida, you can start your presentation, please.
We know that we are living in the era of technology, and artificial intelligence is becoming an integral part of all the systems.
Your mic, I think, is not active. No voice coming.
Picture is on from my side.
Dr. Shahida, your mic is not active, please.
It's working. Let me log in from.
Dr. Takhar, can you hear something? Dr. Takhar? Dr. Takhar?
No, sir, I can just see her.
Can you see the presentation here?
Her presentation is here. She has
Okay.
shared her screen, but we cannot hear to her.
No, this is just I was confirming that at least is it from my side issue or from their side. So you
No,
can
no,
see.
it is generic.
Okay. So you are seeing the presentation and your means the voice also coming. So from our side is okay, right?
Yes.
Okay. So okay, she's joining again, I think. Yeah. Hold on. Dr. Shahida, are you there, please? Your mic is not active.
Hello.
Yeah. Thank you, madam. Yeah, now we can see and hear you. Thank you very much for joining.
Oh,
Yeah, please close one device because this echo will come otherwise if you join from two devices. Now it is okay. Very good. Everything is fine now. Thank you very much.
now can you hear me?
Yeah, everything is fine now. It's very good. Kindly, please go ahead. Your presentation is there.
Okay, my presentation is with me. So let me talk about
No,
something
we have.
related to integration of technology, innovation, and policy for sustainable education system. And we know that through this technology, we can have a creative teaching and alternative approaches in our education system, and which can emphasize dynamic learner-centered strategies like we can have project-based learning, we can have gamification, we can have virtual reality, and we can foster critical thinking and problem solving, aligning our systems for the our education system for the innovative approaches. The infusion of indigenous innovation and creativity will further enriches ecosystem by blending traditional knowledge system with contemporary learning techniques. So we can have a challenge as the climate change and the resource management, and we can handle these challenges. By integrating these unique insights, education become more inclusive and impactful. So creating a holistic environment that support the broader goals of governance and educational policy. So strong governance and effective policies are essential to shaping equitable and inclusive educational systems that address social needs. So this will foster trust, equality, equity, and quality in education, and laying the foundation for an ecosystem of research and development. So as hub of innovation, universities play a critical role in this ecosystem by connecting startups, small and medium sized enterprises, and large businesses. We know that nowadays we are facing about the sustainable development goals set by United Nations in every aspect of our life, how to save our environment and how to include these goals in education. So education which is central to this mission because it promotes environmental consciousness and prepares future leaders to tackle issues like poverty, inequality, and climate change. The alignment of curricula with sustainable development goal principles ensures that students develop the skills and mindset needed for sustainable development. Finally, these interconnected efforts highlight the importance of raising scientific literacy to empower individuals and communities. By fostering a deep understanding of science and its applications, education equips society to embrace innovation and informed decision making. Together, these elements create a cohesive framework where technology, creativity, governance, and sustainable work in harmony to shape a resilient and inclusive future for all. So to achieve this integration, policymakers, educators, and technologists must collaborate to work, number one, for the development and implementation of effective policies. One of the speakers in the morning talked about some policies also. So we need, through the policy, we need to encourage investment in education technology, infrastructure, and teachers training. By fostering innovation, we need to support research and development in education technology and encourage entrepreneurship and partnership. We need to build capacity of educators so that they can effectively integrate technology in their practice. And I must share that recently Higher Education Commission has set up various smart classroom in public sector universities, where I'm going nowadays for the training of faculty and the administrative staff. And that smart classroom is very effective for teaching through technology. Now, the fourth point that I have mentioned here is about the ensuring the equity and access to devices, internet connectivity, and digital literacy skills. So here I would like to share some examples of integrating technology, innovation, and policy for sustainable education and development. Like the Singapore's Smart Nation Initiative to integrate technology into education, healthcare, and other sectors. Finland's education technology strategy focuses on personalized learning, teachers training, and innovation. And India's digital initiative, transforming India into a digital empowered society, focusing on education and skills development. So in conclusion, I would say that integration of technology can lead to personalized learning. Through technology, we can tailor education according to individuals' needs, abilities, and learning styles. We can increase access of learning through online and mobile learning platforms. We can improve outcomes as data analytics and AI can help identify areas where students need more support and extra support. The sustainable development by integrating sustainability and environmental education into curricula that can empower future generations to address global challenges. And the last, I would say that innovative pedagogies are also very important, such as gamification, simulation-based learning, and collaborative learning, which are the results of including these technology in education. So for way forward, Pakistan need to invest more in educational technology infrastructure. It needs to provide teachers training and support to effectively integrate technology in their teaching. And we need to create relevant digital contents, engaging and aligning with Pakistani curriculum and learning objectives. And we need to encourage partnership between government, private sector, civil society, and international organizations to support educational technology initiatives. By integrating technology, innovation, and policy, Pakistan can become access to quality education, develop essential skills for the future, and promote sustainable development. With all these words, I must say once again, thank you very much for your listening. And I'm sorry there was a disturbance, although we rely too much on the technology, but due to a disturbance, I could not connect with you well in time. So over to you, Dr. Hashmi.
Thank you, Dr. Shahada. Here is Azan Fajr is here, so we'll wait just for 2 minutes. Thank you very much. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina. Thank you very much. There was Azan Fajr here. Canada, it's now 6:30 a.m. in the morning. Since whole night we are sitting and just for the conference, alhamdulillah. So our next guest speaker is here, Honorable Dr. Ghulam Ali Mala. He's the Executive Director, Interboard Coordination Commission, IBCC, Professional Training, Government of Pakistan, and he was the former chairman of Computer Science Department, Shah Abdul Latif University. So I welcome Honorable Dr. Ghulam Ali Mala.
Thank you very much. I will not take more time. I will try to finish in a few minutes. Actually, in Pakistan, we have 29 examination boards. And you know, assessment is the integral part of any education system. And there was no any uniform standards or minimum standards for the examination bodies. After 18th Amendment, every examining board is independent. That's why there was need of the minimum standards, and IBCC has recently worked on it. That was inaugurated by Federal Planning Minister in October 2024. So what we are doing, what we have done, and what is our future plan? I am trying to finish it within 4 to 5 minutes. This assessment framework is a comprehensive framework designed to standardize assessment grade 9 to 12 across regions in Pakistan. As I told you, there are 27 public examining boards and 2 private examination boards. This model assessment framework that has been designed for the all examining boards, which provides the standards for pre-examination standards, during examination standards, and post-examination standards. It is aligned with the standard curriculum. It ensures the uniformity, fairness, and quality in assessment processes at all examining boards. Are we able to implement just by announcing the policies or documentation? I think no, because the issue is with Pakistan is not the policies and documentation. The issue is in execution. So how we will execute it? With the help of digitalization, we are going to implement it, and how we are going to implement it, I will give you some examples and the guidelines that we have developed. Key features of model assessment framework. Curriculum alignment. It's a direct connection between assessment and student learning outcome, because currently the assessment is based on the rote learning or the textbooks, but we are focusing on the curriculum that is usually known as the student learning outcomes. The second one is the cognitive levels. The current examination only focuses on the knowledge, cognitive level, but we have proposed 3 years plan in which we are now focusing the knowledge, understanding, and at least application the base questions. Then question item bank. This is the solution that every board, we will develop a software by which there will be some specifications framework behind it, and whenever you need question paper, just click on the basis of this specification, question paper will be generated. Digitalization examination, so technology that's necessary for the pre-exam, during exam, and the post-exam. Bias-free assessment, and then assessment variety like MCQs, short answers. So these are the key features that we have discussed in our model assessment framework, and these are the 9 chapters we have included in our assessment framework. So what will happen? It will have some positive impact on the Pakistan assessment system, uniformity across all boards, and digitalization. I told you that the A grade of the federal board and A grade of the Sakhar board are not equal. Why? Because their question papers are different, because their items are different. They are not based on the understanding and the application. That's why we have developed or proposed the minimum standards, and now all the examining boards across the country will, follow these minimum standards. This is the beauty of IBCC Forum, that all examining bodies are the members of IBCC Forum. There's a focus on the critical thinking. We are facing the challenge. Dr. Atar Rahman Saab is there. The universities are crying that the students have no understanding and application. Our examination system is based on the rote learning. So with this way, we will transfer our examination system from rote learning to the conceptual examination. And then the post-exam, that is a feedback for continuous improvement, and we will use some tools and technologies for that as well. These are the improved learning outcomes. These are the expected outcomes, inshallah. Standardized examination across Pakistan, equitable access, inclusivity, shift from rote learning to conceptual learning, enhanced teacher effectiveness, developed our question item bank at provincial and national level, informed policy decisions. These are the technology revolution that we will bring, inshallah. Question item bank, on-screen marking, real-time monitoring, secure digital paper delivery, automated reporting, biometric verifications. Shift from rote learning, uniform standards, focus on high-order thinking, feedback-driven improvement, transparency, and accountability. These are the positive changes that we are expecting after implementing this framework. How we will implement this framework? In what we are doing, we have arranged at least 1 week workshops and awareness seminars in all big cities of the country. On 14th of the January, we are starting it from the Karachi, inshallah. These are the challenges and the solutions. Resistance to change in assessment methods, definitely it's a big challenge. Whenever you are bringing new system, it has some resistance. Training and capacity building in remote regions, initial logistic hurdles. So what is the solution? Comprehensive teacher training program. We have recently developed with the Federal Board and the Aga Khan Education Board. Government and board support for infrastructure development. We have submitted the PC1 for that. Phased implementation to ensure a smooth transition. The model assessment framework is a critical step towards a standardized, reliable, and equitable assessment system in Pakistan. It promotes fairness, inclusive, and higher learning outcome of the. Actually, inshallah, I told you that the assessment drives the learning. If we are able to implement good assessment system in country, you will see the positive impact and you will see the quality education system in Pakistan, inshallah. Thank you very much. Dr. Hashmi is over from my side.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you, sir. Sparing the time, valuable time. It's very kind of you. Inshallah, hopefully we're going to bring you back and would like to learn more and further weekly, monthly webinars we are holding regular basis. Very valuable information you have given, the new system you are developing, trying to streamline the Pakistan education system. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. So now our now we would welcome our chief guest, Honorable Professor Dr. Atar Rahman. He's a Commission Chinese Academy of Services, Civil Awards, Nishan Haider, Tamga Imtiaz, Sitar Imtiaz, and he's a Professor Emeritus at International Center for Chemical and Biological Sciences, University of Karachi, Pakistan. And his title of the speech is Education, Science and Technology, imperative for the socio-economic development. So we welcome our chief guest, Professor Dr. Atar Rahman. We have been in touch with him since my childhood. I know him. I used to stay in the Karachi University. Where my father was there, and we used to I spent 20 years in University Karachi. From there, we know Dr. Atar Rahman and his earlier Professor Dr. Salim Uzama Siddiqui, the great scientists of Pakistan and world-renowned scholars. So we welcome for his chief guest speech. Thank you very much, sir. Let me upload your presentation. Just give me 1 minute, sir.
मैं यहाँ से अस्सलाम वालेकुम मैं यहाँ से शेयर कर सकता हूँ प्रेजेंटेशन
Okay, sir. You can कर सकते हैं. Yes, sir. You can do that.
अगर आप अलाउ करें शेयर करना तो let me try and share if I can share it from here.
Yes, sir. We can see you.
You can see the presentation also?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Presentation is there. You can see.
Yeah, okay, good. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you very much, Dr. Hashmi Saab, for inviting me here. And I'm so happy to be able to also listen to the speeches of Dr. Sajjad Sahiba and also of Dr. Malla. I would like to begin by saying that we live in an age where knowledge has become the key for socio-economic development, and countries investing in their real wealth, their children, are marching forward quickly, leaving others behind. So this is from the McKinsey Global has published this, that there'll be $100 trillion impact over the next 5 years of some of the emerging technologies, such as artificial intelligence, next generation genomics, advanced materials, renewable energy, etc. And Pakistan must prepare itself so that our children are prepared for this rapidly changing world for tomorrow. I would also like to give you these good news through this slide. You know, we usually say everything is bad in Pakistan. This is SCIMAGO rankings. You know, SCIMAGO is the agency created for ranking of all international journals, etc. H index वगैरह जो journals की होती है, it comes through SCIMAGO. So if you look at the bottom left, ये जो है ये year 2000 और ये ऊपर है year 2023, and these are the rankings of Pakistan as they have gone up from 2000 upwards to 2023 in terms of research output and in terms of citations. So in economics, Pakistan was number 96 in the world in the year 2000. We are now number 17 in the world. In chemical engineering, from 63 to 20. From in biochemistry, microbiology, from 62 to 21. In physics, from 59 to 23. And 50 in agriculture, from 48 to 15. So there have been remarkable changes, and these have been acknowledged internationally that something amazing has happened in the last 20 years because of the policies that we introduced between the years 2000 and 2008, when I was firstly the federal minister and then later the chairman of the Higher Education Commission, the founding chairman. And this is a comparison with India in research publications per 10 million population, taken from the Web of Science. This is based on publications in indexed journals only. So on the left is green is Pakistan and red is India. This is per 10 million population, as I said. So Pakistan had 44 publications versus 172 publications of India. So we were 400% behind India. Then with the policies that we introduced back at that time, this started changing. And by 2018-19, we have now forged ahead. And we are now about, according to the Web of Science data, we are about 10 to 15% ahead of India in per capita research output. In actual numbers, of course, we are about 6 or 7-fold behind, which is the population difference. But on per capita output, and this is no small achievement, no country has shown such rapid progress as Pakistan has done. And why did this happen and how did this happen? Well, I persuaded President Musharraf at that time. I did not become the Minister of Science till he had agreed. So I joined the cabinet 6 months late. And there was a 6,000% increase in the budget for science and technology, and a 3,500% increase in the budget of higher education. And we focused on three major challenges: quality, access, and relevance of education. And the heart of the universities is not the buildings or infrastructure. The heart is the faculty. So we focused on sending thousands of bright young people to top universities abroad. Some 11,000 students were sent. On every student, we were spending about 3 to 4 crores of rupees for PhD level training, and a different salary structure was introduced, which had under the tenure track system, salaries were 4 times those of federal ministers for professors. Every student was given he could win $100,000 grant 1 year before coming back, so that even if he came back to a weak university, he would have sufficient research funding, access to literature through launching of a very nice digital library, free access to instrumentation, sophisticated instruments, so the free analysis was being done, and jobs on arrival. So even before they came back, they all had jobs, and there was a 97% return rate of students sent abroad under those programs. And this amazing development that has happened in the last 20 years, and I'll be happy to share the details with anyone who wants. Professor Michael Rode, the chairman of the United Nations Commission on Science and Technology Development, wrote an article that no other country in the world has seen such spectacular positive developments as Pakistan in the higher education sector. And Thomson Reuters, the world's leading ranking agency, compared Pakistan with Brazil, Russia, India, and China, and concluded that Pakistan had the highest percentage of highly cited papers as compared to these countries. And this was a book that came out a couple of years ago by an educational expert, Fred Hayward, on which one chapter is devoted to what I'm talking about. This was published 2 years ago by Palgrave Macmillan, by Fred Hayward, and this describes what I've just mentioned here. Well, let me now move forward and talk about this amazing world of science where truth is stranger than fiction. And this is the world that we have to prepare our students for. China has now come out with a computer which takes less than a second to complete a task which would take 5 years to carry out by the world's fastest supercomputer. This is the Juzhang quantum computer that they have launched. Quantum computing is making a huge difference now, beginning to make a huge difference. And just 2 weeks ago, Google announced their Willow chip, which is 10 septillion times faster. This means that what it will take 100 billion years to calculate for the fastest supercomputer, this can do it within a matter of 5 minutes. So this is a new huge change that is taking place in the area of quantum computing, which is just at its beginning. And when this combines with artificial intelligence, then we will be able to design various life forms, go into personalized medicine, understand the origins of the universe, and do other amazing things. So we are just at the verge of a new revolution. AI, you've heard a lot of developments in this field. The 2024 Nobel Prizes were awarded for the development of AlphaFold 2, which accurately predicts protein structures. यानी कि प्रोटीन किस तरह उनकी कॉन्फर्मेशन क्या होती है, मल्टी डायमेंशनल स्ट्रक्चर जो हैं क्या साइट होती है उसके अंदर जिसके अंदर ड्रग्स फिट हो सकते हैं, इस तरह की चीजें. These kind of things can be predicted, and this is an amazing development that has taken place, which won this year's Nobel Prizes. Neuralink, Elon Musk, you have heard of him, Tesla car. He's formed this company called Neuralink, and this company got an approval from FDA for brain implants of certain chips, which will be able to address certain neurodegenerative diseases like depression, schizophrenia, and others. The same company has developed a chip for the blind, and this was in September 2024, just 3 months ago. Again, FDA has given approval for inserting it into the brains of people who are blind, and this can restore eyesight even if the optic nerve is damaged. IBM has developed this Watson, which is Watson Law or Watson Medicine, and it offers legal or medical advice at a fraction of the cost of what normal doctors or lawyers would charge. इसी तरह when we look at this from artificial intelligence, we go to natural intelligence. Our brain, there are about 80 billion neurons. आपके दिमाग के अंदर 80 अरब neurons हैं. And each neuron, अल्लाह ताला की कुदरत देखनी है तो आप अपने दिमाग के अंदर देखें. 80 अरब neurons हैं. Each neuron is talking to some 10,000 other neurons. So there are 80 trillion synaptic connections. Arguably the most complex object of our universe is our own brain. And how it functions, how the memory is stored, that is something that I have been working on for the last 10, 15 years. And we have about 20 US patents of our discoveries. And we propose that glycoproteins in the brain form hydrogen bonds, and these create patterns, and that is the way thoughts are stored. So pattern formation through hydrogen bonding within glycoproteins. And these are patterns that we had predicted about 20 years ago, and there's growing evidence that these indeed are the patterns formed and this was a paper published in USA some time ago, a couple of years ago, in which they showed that long-term memory is indeed related to what I had proposed of pattern formation through folded glycoproteins. So in our lab, we have in my institute at the Karachi University, we have a very sophisticated facilities of NMR, mass, and other systems. So here is a patch clamp facility where we can excite individual neurons with 10 to the minus 12th of an ampere, and we can simulate epilepsy. Epileptic-like behavior हम neurons के अंदर पैदा कर सकते हैं और फिर देख सकते हैं which drugs are active against them. And through from a medicinal plant, we have isolated these compounds, which are very exciting, and they've been patented in the USA and are undergoing clinical trials for epileptic seizures. Energy की तरफ चलते हैं, तवानाई की तरफ. So you all know about solar cells, but the problem with solar cells is that they only convert light into electricity. But now these new solar cells convert both heat and light into electricity. These are called photon enhanced thermionic emission cells, and these have efficiencies of about 50% as compared to about 22 or 23% of the standard solar cells that you normally use. At the south of France, they are developing this reactor, the ITER reactor. They are trying to fuse deuterium and tritium to produce energy the way stars produce energy. जो सितारे हैं जिस तरह तवानाई पैदा करते हैं वो दुनिया में पैदा हो सके, and they are making very good progress in terms of the life of plasma that is formed. Amazing developments also to produce energy from water through photocatalytic splitting of water into hydrogen and oxygen. This has been achieved with a very good efficiency, and the efficiency is being constantly improved. And once this becomes commercialized, then water will be the source of energy through production of hydrogen, and hydrogen will then be used for burning, with byproducts being water. Turning to another area, this is genomics. Again, fantastic developments. आपने जुगनू के अंदर चमकते हुए तो देखे होंगे. These fireflies, they have certain enzymes which produce a certain, this is an enzyme called luciferase. So certain scientists have taken the genes of fireflies and put them into flowers, and you have amazing luminescent flowers, जो ऐसे फूल जो जुगनू की तरह चमकते हैं. So these are some of the amazing developments. Similarly, CRISPR has been developed. Again, Nobel Prize is given for this work, where gene editing technologies have come out. And these are technologies, it takes thousands of years for new species to evolve through natural evolution. However, now you can cut out genes accurately and then put them into other plants or animals and develop new varieties in a matter of weeks or months through such gene editing technologies. And these are being used for a variety of purposes, including for slowing the aging process. For aging, many anti-aging compounds have been discovered, like resveratrol, nicotinamide, adenine dinucleotide. And these are amazing materials. They not only slow down the aging, but in animals, they've been shown to actually reverse the aging process and make old animals younger. Even their body features change. So these are amazing developments. And it's thought that the children being born today will have ages of 120 or 150 years plus because of these amazing developments. Materials की तरफ चलें तो again nanomaterials have come in, nanotechnology. I've put up Pakistan's first nanotechnology center in my own institute, and these are there is a huge potential, and already there's a growing market of hundreds of billions of dollars in nanomaterials and nanopharmaceuticals and nanoelectronics. Bulletproof paper has been developed. Bulletproof jackets are being made, which are made of nanocellulose, which are light, absorbent, and bulletproof. Similarly, materials have been developed which make you invisible. So Harry Potter's disappearing cloak is a reality, and these materials are being used for cloaking submarines, tanks, and for other stealth purposes. Intelligent materials have been developed that remember their shape. Graphene is 200 times stronger than steel. It is already finding many reusers, and self-healing materials have been developed. Electronic textiles have been developed. ऐसे textiles जो अपना खाली एक बटन दबाएं और अपना डिजाइन बदल देते हैं. So these electronic textiles, रात को जाके आप देखिएगा इंटरनेट पर, तो you will find many e-textiles that are now available internationally. 3D printing के बारे में आपने सुना होगा. 3D printing is a part of a living human kidney which has been produced through 3D printing. So patient के अपने kidney cell निकाल कर उसको multiply करके, and layer by layer you produce these parts of human organs which can then be reinserted into the human body, and this is a part of a jet engine produced by 3D printing. This lady is blind, but she has a little camera, and in her hand is a lollipop-like device which has 400 sensors. So the moment she puts it on her tongue, eyesight is restored, and she can at least partial eyesight. This is a company known as YCAB in Wisconsin. I'm now coming to the end. I have set up a center for genomics research. This is in my father's name within the Karachi University, the Jamilur Rahman Center for Genomics Research. और जब COVID आया था, so on a daily basis we were monitoring the mutations that were taking place in the COVID virus. So this has got state-of-the-art gene sequencing facilities and bioinformatics facilities. I'm at present setting up new universities, which are entrepreneurial universities, very different from standard universities. This university, the Pakistan Austrian Fachhochschule, has been set up by us in Haripur, Hazara. It is about 1 hour's drive from Islamabad. There are 13 foreign universities collaborating with this university, 4 from Austria, 1 from Germany, 1 from UK, and the rest from China. And this is the first Fachhochschule, as they are known in German, in this whole region. I'm setting up a similar university, another entrepreneurial university in Sialkot, which is under construction presently. So these are different types of universities. I would like to end here by saying that it is important that we invest in our children. Allah Ta'ala ने हर atom जो आपके जिस्म में है वो किसी ज़माने में, ये scientific fact है, किसी दहकते सितारे के अंदर था. तो अल्लाह ताला ने हमें सितारों की राख से बनाया है. We are all made of stardust. Now it is our duty to shine and illuminate the world with knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Atar Rahman. Great new developments you have shown us, which are coming up in our Pakistan. Alhamdulillah, Pakistan is growing. We should be motivated. We should not be demotivated that Pakistan is behind. Pakistan will grow, inshallah ta'ala, with your great leadership and vision. Dr. Mullah also has given a great information. You also given a great information. So we learned a lot of new things from our valuable scholars who have joined throughout the day. Since morning, we have been here in this conference, HIBA International Conference. We launched this conference in 2021. During the COVID situation, people were not able to see each other. So we launched this project to work online, bring the consultants from various countries. And alhamdulillah, now this is the 4th year and we are well organized. And a lot of countries we have got the scholars, and we have established the chapters in various countries: Australia, China, UAE, Saudi, Bahrain, UK, Turkey, USA, Canada. all the places we have got established our scholars connections, and they are helping out in this project, alhamdulillah. So with this, I would like to welcome our conference chair to give the closing notes, Professor Dr. Iftikhar Ahmed Beg from Lahore, for the closing notes, please. Closing comments.
Assalamu alaikum, Professor Dr. Atahur Rahman, the sparkling star on the knowledge horizon of the universe. Ladies, gentlemen, esteemed guests, and fellow researchers, as we are heading towards the final event of 4th HIBA conference, it gives me great pleasure to profoundly acknowledge the work and effort of Dr. Hashmi and his team at the back end for the efforts they have put in to make this event a success. As we have witnessed that during this session, before the session of Professor Ataur Rahman, we have listened as on a Fajr at Canada, which shows that Professor Hashmi has been awake the whole night and his team as well. A few years ago, when this idea was developed by Professor Hashmi, it was not realized that it will be expand to such a great horizon. And many good researchers have been presented today that we have been witnessing, and had the time been not short, we could witness more and hear more good researches. In this expanded world, as the event is across the globe, with a wide range of variation of the time zone, it is quite difficult to manage, which Professor Hashmi and his team has successfully been managing for the last 4 years. Initially, it was between Canada and Pakistan, but now it has also expanded to different continents and themes as well. My dear fellow researchers, as we are standing on forefronts of AI revolution, we are witnessing expanded advancements in the machine learning, natural language processing, and computer vision. The breakthrough have enabled us to develop intelligent systems that can be seen and interact with human in a way previously unimaginable. Transformation of industries such as healthcare, finance, education, transportation can benefit from AI, provided our research activities are not merely theoretical. As a researcher, we have unique opportunities to explore the forefront of AI and push the frontiers of AI to the boundaries of what is provided and what is possible. We must encourage innovation and entrepreneurship in all walks of life, like healthcare, education, finance, customer services, cybersecurity, environmental sustainability, and scientific research, etc. As researchers, we have critical role to play in shaping the future and trust that benefits are equally distributed. Let us work together, address the challenges, and harness the potential of technology and research to create a better world for all. I wish and pray that we, the HIBA family, prepare for a better 5th conference, seek more collaboration, and take real benefits of the IT, AI, and global village phenomenon. Best wishes and many prayers for our knowledge partners, our researchers, collaborators, presenters, and the management for the bright future. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. This was our conference chair talking about our achievements, what we have achieved in the past 4 years, alhamdulillah. So just I would like to show one last screen what we have here on our website, just as a closing summary. about our project, what we launched in 2021, Alhamdulillah. So this is our website, and just not very much investment we have done because this is all on voluntary basis. All the people who are working since the 4 years, Alhamdulillah, a lot of great people. We have qualified team of technical team members, and all are working on a voluntary basis and helping out in this project, Alhamdulillah. So we have not done too much investment on the website, making a heavy website or like that. It is just one simple website we have acquired and just managing ourselves, and we have slowly growing in various parts of the world, Alhamdulillah. So we hope that the next 5th year will be the great 5th year, and we want to bring the conference to Canada and US. Because of the time difference, we are not able to engage these people here, though already they have excellent facilities and all the resources. So we were not focusing mainly because of that also. So we are focusing on our country, Pakistan, to help them to bring a quality education there. Our vision started with the basic and quality education for character building and leadership. This is our vision, and this is for which we are working. And Alhamdulillah, Allah Ta'ala has given us the vision and the guidance and the help. And Alhamdulillah, we are moving forward. And from there, 2021, we started from Metropolitan Malid University, then we moved to Metropolitan University, then we moved to the Bahria University last year. And in this way, a lot of institutions are joining our knowledge partner program. We have introduced a knowledge partner program. Institution sign up MOU with us to work together on just for sharing information, helping each other, and in this way arranging the events, and in this way working together with the various institutions, social organizations, and scholars and professionals, Alhamdulillah. So this is just a small introduction and closing information for the people who have joined here. And now I would welcome our patron, Lubna bint Al-Hashmi from Saudi Arabia. So we would welcome her to just give us closing comments.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you all to all the participating members. I'm speaking on behalf of the whole HIBA institution. Thank you to all the participating members and presenters for such valuable information in the 4th HIBA International Conference on Education. We would like to express our sincere gratitude for your participation. It was a privilege to have you all to join us for this enriching event, where we had the opportunity to learn from the groundbreaking research findings shared by esteemed educationists and scholars. We extend our special thanks to Conference Manager Syed Saleh, host Dr. Tariq Saeed Khan, our chief guest, Professor Dr. Ataur Rahman, FRS, guest of honor, Dr. Ghulam Ali Mala, and our conference chair, Professor Dr. Iftikhar Ahmed Beg, conference co-chair, Professor Dr. Sajida Parveen, and our keynote speakers, Professor Dr. Aida bint Mustafa and Professor Dr. Shahida Sajjad, Dr. Noorani bint Ayub, and Dr. Ahmed Humeizi. Session chairs, Professor Dr. Muhammad Irfan Khan, Professor Dr. Muhammad Ishaq, and Professor Dr. Javed Afzal. Also, our session co-chairs, Dr. Akhtar Hussain Sandu, and Dr. Gulnaz Naeem, Dr. Samreen Amir. Alhamdulillah, all praises due to Allah, and this is all Haza min fadli Rabbi. This was not possible without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help and His fadl. The conference provided an excellent platform to meet and engage with a diverse group of highly qualified research scholars in a relatively short period of time, which was both inspiring and informative. As we continue to foster connections and share knowledge, we would love to stay in touch and keep you informed about our upcoming programs. Please follow our official Facebook page for the latest updates, news, and announcements related to future events. Additionally, we will be releasing the research discussions over the coming days for those who are interested in further exploring the insights shared during the conference. And once again, Jazakallahu khairan for dedicating your valuable time. We really appreciate it and contributing to the success of the event. We look forward to your continued involvement in future initiatives. Jazakallah khair. Thank you all.
Thank you very much for everybody, our guest, chief guest, Professor Dr. Atar Rahman, and our honorable guest, Dr. Ghulam Ali Mullah, Professor Dr. Shahida Sajjad, Professor Dr. Iftakhar Ahmad Beg. From Malaysia, we got very good, well-known consultants, Professor Dr. Aida Mustafa, Dr. Noriani, Director, Open Universities, Malaysia, Dr. Ahmad Hamezi, is co-founder of the Software Thesis, and a lot of our scholars and faculty members and students. Thank you for joining today. With this, we will going to end our conference, the 4th International Conference, HIBA International Conference. Inshallah, we'll follow up. We missed our panel discussion because of the delay of the timings in the presentation and some technical issues. Our host, Dr. Tariq Said from Dubai, HIBA, he well prepared the team for the panel discussion and with the questions, but unfortunately, we are not able to take up that part of that. Very important session was expected. The whole, I was thinking that will be the best part of the conference, the panel discussion normally we conducting. So inshallah, hopefully we're going to plan for the next week, Saturday, inshallah, just for 1.5 an hour session to complete our part of the panel discussion and the conference part of the, inshallah. So with this note, I would like to announce the conference is closed, the 4th HIBA International Conference, inshallah. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you, Professor Dr. Atar Rahman, Professor Dr. Ghulam Ali Mullah, Professor Shahida Sajjad, Professor Aida Mustafa, Dr. Noriani Aliub, Dr. Ahmad Hamezi from Malaysia, and our scholars here, Professor Javed Afzal from Lahore, Professor Dr. Akhtar Hussain Sadhu, Dr. Gulnaz Naeem, Professor Dr. Ishaq Mansouri, and Dr. Samalin Amir, and supporting for this conference management, all our staff, our moderators, our team members who are selflessly working day and nights, and within 24/7 environment, we are supporting whole world. People are contacting us, we have to respond them, we have to answer them, we have to help them out, we have to get them connected. So the whole different timings, we are continuously working for this project. Inshallah ta'ala, we'll continue the efforts in the next fifth year, will be the best one, inshallah ta'ala. All the scholars who have presented their research findings, valuable findings, will be published in our proceedings, conference proceedings, inshallah ta'ala, very soon. And we'll provide the certificates and the copies of the proceedings to all the participants, inshallah ta'ala. Thank you very much for joining today.